What's up, y'all? Alex Thompson here, coming at you live with the second sports talk video. Once again, it's my second video, so please bear with me as I try and, figure this out. I got my new webcam, so hopefully it's a little clearer. So let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about the head coach vacancies and the people who filled them today in the NFL. There have been 6 positions filled, and one still open. The one still open is the Miami Dolphins. I'm not going to be talking about that, talking about the 6 that have been filled. The 6 teams that filled their head coaching spots are the Green Bay Packers, the New York Jets, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Denver Broncos, Arizona Cardinals, and the Cleveland Browns. So let's just start this off talking about the Jets. The Jets have hired ex-Dolphins head coach Adam Gase. The reason why they have hired him is because they really liked how he's kind of coached the QBs he's been, dealing with, especially with injuries. So he's had to deal with, at least 4 different quarterbacks. You've got Ryan Tannehill, Jay Cutler, Matt Moore, and Brock Osweiler, who toward the end kind of took over because of the injuries that the team dealt with in their quarterbacks. So one of the reasons why, like I said, why they hired him is that, hopefully through his QB, head coaching knowledge, not even head coaching, but just his quarterback improvement, is to help Sam Darnold, who was drafted 3rd overall last year. So that's what they're kind of looking for in that, and they think they found their guy. And, it's also not bad to hire a head coach who you used to play against, and now they have all this knowledge about the team they're bringing in with you. So that kind of, I guess, gives the Jets an edge, if you want to say. I don't not like this hiring, so, I kind of do like the hiring because, I think he's done well with the quarterbacks that he's had to deal with. And, Sam Darnold is a decent quarterback for being a rookie, He's plays well. He can scramble, accurate throws. I saw his pro day last year before he got drafted, throwing in the rain, throwing straight dimes, and I was like, yo, this kid is special. Playing in these outdoor, conditions, that's pretty impressive. And, going to New York, you're playing in MetLife Stadium. That's an opened stadium, so, you are going to be dealing with the elements of nature. So I think the Jets did pretty good in their hiring. So, good luck to him. Moving on next to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They somehow acquired or got out Bruce Arians out of retirement. So, props to them. I was actually reading reports today of, Arians talking about what he's going to be doing with the offense. And a lot of it's going to be focused on Jameis Winston. Obviously last year they were differentiating between quarterbacks between Ryan Gerald Fitzpatrick and Jameis Winston. Obviously Jameis Winston's younger. He has the ability to scramble more. So I think that's where he's going to kind of go because, as being an ex-Cardinals head coach, he was dealing with Carson Palmer, who was a pocket passer. And, this league is starting to turn into more scrambler QBs. Obviously you got Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Andrew Luck, Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson, and many others. So I think that's why he's going to go towards that. In addition to him being the head coach, he actually hired ex-Jets head coach Todd Bowles, who used to be his D coordinator in Arizona. So look for them to kind of be taking a lot of that Arizona stuff, while they made that kind of deep playoff push for Super Bowl 50. So look for that, for a lot of the schemes to come up in that. So head coaches, look out for some old stuff coming up again. Going up north to the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers, they just hired Matt LaFleur, who is the old offensive coordinator for the Titans and working with Mariota. The reason why they hired Matt LaFleur, I guess, which is pretty cool, is that during the interview it felt more conversational rather than an interview. So I guess they're looking for that when he's talking to Aaron Rodgers, because obviously Aaron Rodgers, top-tier quarterback, knows what he's doing. Don't want to be looked down upon. Want to be more of a conversation. Be like, hey, this is what I'm seeing. What are you seeing? Let's try and work the offense this way so we can, scheme better, in a sense, plan better, and, you know, win the game or win the next few games. So kind of like that hiring as well. Moving on to the land, Cleveland, you know, my main man, LBJ up here, shout out. They actually fired their interim head coach and defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, and promoted their offensive coordinator, Freddie Kitchens. And I love this, I guess, promotion in a sense, because, you know, ever since early November or whatever, or when the Browns lost to the Steelers midway through the season, that's when they promoted him to offensive coordinator. And ever since then, he and Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, and that offense has exploded right off the ground. And look for the Browns to be scary. You know, obviously they went, 7-9. So look for them to try and make a push for that AFC North title against, you know, the Ravens this year with Lamar Jackson and Big Ben and the Steelers. You know, Bengals are... So, sorry Bengals fans, but, you know, you've been struggling for a while now, even though you make the playoffs, but you don't really. So, moving on to the Cardinals. Seahawks, NFC West rival. They just got rid of their first-year head coach and hired former Texas Tech coach Cliff Kingsbury. I did not know this, but Cliff has sent 6 QBs into the NFL during his college career. He sent Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield for a year before he transferred to U of O, Johnny Manziel, Case Keenum, Davis Webb, and someone else. And interesting enough, 2 of those quarterbacks he sent are Heisman winners. So I think that's what really turned the Cardinals onto him, because, you know, they just drafted Josh Rosen, and they want to make him better because that's who's going to be their franchise quarterback, because that's why they picked him, you know, so high in the early rounds. So kind of scared as a Seahawks fan, kind of scared, but, you know, our defense has been on point, and we kind of, well, we don't have their number. Like, every one of those games is close, but we usually split the series, so either way, go Hawks, you know what I'm saying? Moving on to the Broncos, they actually hired Chicago's defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, I believe I say his name. He spent 32 years in the NFL, 19 of those as a defensive coordinator. So once again, Broncos are trying to go defensive-minded because, you know, they've always had a pretty stout defense, but, you know, they've got a lot of players coming up who they have to think about re-signing or letting go, such as, you know, Von Miller, Chris Harris, type of those guys. And they have a bunch of new guys who, you know, young guys who have really kind of been showing out and have a lot of good potential, in Bradley Chubb and Shane Ray and Bradley Roby. I really like this new offensive coordinator they're coming with, and Gary Kubiak. You know, they're obviously trying to get back to that Super Bowl caliber team, like in Super Bowl 50, where Kubiak actually went to the Super Bowl with them and won that. So he's coming out of, I guess, retirement, in a sense of, you know, he was one of the personal advisors in the Denver Broncos, and now he's going to be running the offense again. You know, obviously they don't have that same firepower as they did, but, you know, with his schemes, you know, I liked him in Texas, and I like him moving up to the Broncos, you know, before he got sick, so I'm glad he's healthy. But he brings a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, and I'm really excited about that. Something that NFL teams have been doing is they trying to hire offensive-minded coaches, because the league is turning into a very offensive league. You know, who can put up the most yards, who can put up the most points, instead of, like, trying to hold them. They're just trying to score. So it's good to see these teams out there going defensive-minded and trying to, I guess, not go with the flow. Thanks for watching. There'll be another video out shortly. See you next time.